All of the girls in Friends are incredibly well dressed, but Rachel's style has an undeniable, timeless attraction which keeps her on every girl's Pinterest board even today. In today's video, I'm going to deep dive why 30 years after Friends, Rachel's style has particularly stood the test of time. My name is Ellie-Jean, I'm a style consultant, and on this channel, we find our style by finding ourselves. In the first season of Friends, Rachel disrupts the lives of this group of friends. It's her wedding day and she has run away. She is the spoiled little rich girl with an amazing wardrobe who is starting life afresh as just an ordinary girl making it on her own. Rachel's style goes through 3 eras in Friends: coffeehouse Rachel, career Rachel, mum Rachel. And through it all, she is consistently stylish, chic, and someone we all want to dress like. If you would like to learn more about style routes, color seasons, body types, make sure to check out my book, How to Dress Your Best. In this book, I walk you through finding what you love to wear, finding what works for you, and organizing a wardrobe and putting outfit templates together. It's basically a one-stop shop for transforming your style and giving yourself the makeover of your dreams. The link to pre-order is in the description, and I would be so grateful if you would consider it. The more pre-orders we get, the more chance I have of actually seeing this in store. The first reason I think Rachel's style resonates with people even today is that it has this effortless chic feel. I feel her roots are stone, mushroom, and flower with a touch of mountain. The stone is the casual, relaxed, slightly sporty side of her style, and this style route is often used to convey the girl next door. She's chill, she's relaxed, she's easy to get on with, she's low maintenance. Stone has also been trendy really since the 80s. That kind of sporty kick in your style has been there for a few decades, especially with younger generations, because it has that kind of effortless, I don't care feel to it. Mushroom is the neutrality in Rachel's style. She has a very toned down color palette. In fact, the costume designer and Friends said each of the girls had a distinct color palette, and Rachel's was a mix of blues and greens. So she has this kind of coastal color palette. And I see also a lot of grays, soft browns as well threaded through. What's really special about Friends is that the characters weren't dressed based on trends. In fact, one of the really interesting things that the costume designer notes is how at the time people were actually wearing really oversized baggy things, and she didn't want her New York group to be dressed like that. She wanted them to be wearing more fitted clothes, to look kind of professional and polished. She wanted their outfits to reflect their characters. So she says that although we see evidence of 90s trends there, she wasn't overly influenced by it. And so that makes a character like Rachel is designed based on who she is, and that makes her style timeless. In each season, we don't see a new 90s or 2000s trends, we just see Rachel and her wardrobe. There's a consistent undercurrent to it. And these neutrals really help with that as well, because it means that the designer isn't swayed by particular color trends of the moment. And flower, I feel for Rachel, I was between flower and mountain, but when I actually looked at all of her outfits, she has this feminine, delicate quality to them, whether it's the little mini skirts, a floral embroidery, a pleated skirt, or just the way she does her hair, or a particular kind of necklace. She always has this element of delicate girlishness to her outfits, both at work and at home. So because her style is rooted in these 3 ideas, it's consistent throughout the series, and there's something quite comforting in that. It makes us understand who Rachel is. I also feel that a lot of the outfits in the show are kind of elevated casual. If you compare it to a show like, say, Riverdale, a lot of the outfits are unrealistic. They're not something you could actually wear in everyday life and feel normal. Whereas in Friends, they're either dressed in jeans or casual jumpers. They're dressed in a kind of elevated version of everyday clothing. They're clothes anyone could wear. They're not overly fussy. They're not obviously designer or avant-garde pieces. They're largely very simple clothes, although often expensive, I'm sure, but simple clothes that you could see any woman in her 20s wearing. Again, she was dressed for the real life. We were supposed to be looking in through a window into a real-ish world of people in their 20s, a slightly elevated New York 20s lifestyle, rather than a fantasy version. The second thing is her hair evolution. At the start of the show, the Rachel cut became an absolute phenomenon in the 90s. Considering that success, you'd think maybe they would stick with that haircut throughout the entire 10 seasons, but they don't, and this is where I think it works. They learn from the fact that this show can create trends. Rachel can create trends. And so they kind of move with Jennifer Aniston, where she's at in her life over the 10 years. And we see Rachel's hair go through these different phases, these recognizable phases that I kind of personally pinpoint with each series, where I can go, oh yes, that's season 4 Rachel. That's season 6 Rachel, where she cuts off her hair. I think that's season 6. But you know, you can associate those with periods in the show. It's kind of like, you know how Taylor Swift talks about reinventing herself? You've got to be someone where you've got to reinvent yourself, but not too much, in a kind of way that people like. I feel like Rachel does that really, really well. She doesn't just stay the girl who's in her 20s in the coffee house with the little Rachel cut. She becomes something new and she goes through these phases, and that's why she stays relevant throughout the whole 10 series and why she stays relevant even today. Most of Rachel's haircuts also really work for Jennifer Aniston's essences. Jen's primary essence is natural. Natural essence is made by having a mix of blunt and angular features. So she has quite a blunt chin, quite an angular jawline, quite close set eyes, a straight nose. All of these are natural features, so these make her look quite grounded. They make her look down to earth, and a lot of her haircuts echo this. She's often not put in intricate hairstyles. Her hair is often loose and relaxed and flowing, and that echoes the natural side of her facial features. I would say her other essences include classic and gamine. She's got that kind of timeless, graceful feel. The shot of her which really makes me think gamine is when she's at Monica's wedding in her bridesmaid's dress. She has her hair up and she has these cute little pixie ears, and I think she looks so pixie-like in that particular image, and so it shows that she has that kind of fun, cheeky look to her face as well. And tussled is a key word for gamine features, and I feel like we see her with a lot of tussled hair looks. Number 3 is she's rooted in a colour palette. We talked about this a little in regards to her mushroom style route, where everything is kept very minimal, timeless, simple, but also she's rooted in blues, greens, greys, and these colours often echo her soft summer colour palette. So Jennifer Aniston is a soft summer. This means her dominant features are soft, cool, and she's between light and deep. So this means ashy kind of shades really suit her. She's often in these ashy shades of green and blue and grey, and so they make her shine. She looks just stunning in these kind of colours. Number 4, the styles reflect her changing personality. Like I said, she goes through these different eras: coffee house, career, mum. And with that, we see her change. And the show does this really well. They don't just dress her in typical career girl outfits, they dress her in Rachel career girl outfits. There's still that neutral color palette. They have a slight touch of relaxed feel. For example, what occurs to me is Rachel's green coat from the episode where her and Ross break up, where it's kind of oversized, it's relaxed. That's very stone. But underneath, she's wearing this mini skirt. She's wearing this beaded necklace, which is very stone. And everything is kind of simple and minimal. There aren't any patterns. So her style roots are consistent even though she goes through these different eras of life. They don't keep her stagnant, they keep her changing. And this also works as Friends' viewership changes. So you can watch the early seasons of Friends as a kind of older teenager or someone in their 20s and very much relate to the outfits, and they're aspirational. Whereas when Friends came out, the viewership was getting older too. The people who started watching Friends are aging along with them, and so they wanted the outfits to be aspirational for their aging viewership. And so Rachel's outfits become more mature as we go. They don't try and force her into staying the kind of cute girl next door. They allow her growth. And that's actually quite a difficult thing to achieve. 5th is understanding of body type. The costume designer notes that Jen can kind of put any outfit on and look amazing. But I would say that we do see certain outfit templates in Friends that they return to that echo Jennifer Aniston's particular body type. So I would put Jen in wide, medium, medium. And the reason she has width is if you see in her shoulders, they are kind of the dominant feature in her figure. So that means that wide, slightly loose, straight shapes look amazing on her. She looks moderate in height. You wouldn't necessarily think that she's short. She looks kind of medium. And she's medium in shape. She's neither particularly curvy nor particularly straight in shape. She's somewhere in the middle. In Kibby, she's often talked about as a flamboyant natural. For example, an outfit template I often see Rachel in is a kind of flowy blouse, a mini skirt, tights, and knee boots. So here the floaty blouse echoes the width in the shoulders, the knee boots echo her moderate length, and although the mini skirt somewhat conflicts with her moderate length, that adds a kind of sexiness to it. So that's an example of kind of going against your lines to create an effect. Another typical Rachel Green outfit is she wears like a strapless, kind of like a boob tube, but it's like full length. It's a very 90s, 2000s thing, kind of like a strapless, clingy top basically with a maxi skirt and sandals. That echoes kind of her natural essence. It's got that moderate length because she's wearing like a midi to maxi skirt, echoes her width by having a horizontal neckline. And 6th, I feel that Rachel isn't restricted to any one style in particular. Nothing is off limits as long as it's classy. Yes, I feel that we see these patterns of Rachel's style roots coming through. She's very rarely placed in something that goes against her style roots, you know, something really bold or crazy or like very sun. I feel like she's very rarely placed in anything like that, or anything overly edgy like with studs, anything overly chunky. But I do feel that we see evidence of so many different kinds of aesthetics in Rachel's style, whether it's the career girl, whether it's the sporty girl playing baseball, whether it's, you know, a pretty party girl dress. She can do anything and she isn't restricted to one kind of thing. And so there's this flexibility there, which means basically no matter who you are, you can see something you love in Rachel's outfits. Anyone can find a Rachel Green outfit that they love. So the reason I think Rachel's style is so timeless, works so well, is that it's never the same, it's never predictable. They allow for flexibility and growth, but at the same time, it's rooted in certain ideas. It's rooted in her personality, it's rooted in her character, which means that we see those returning style roots. There's something consistent about Rachel's style that keeps it classy, keeps it reflective of who she is. It's rooted in something greater than trends. It's also rooted in her color season, a particular color palette, an awareness of Jennifer Aniston and what looks good on her and what doesn't. It means her style doesn't get stale, and they could be quite fluid with the outfits, which works for both changing trends in fashion and the changes that Rachel would make in her journey. If you've enjoyed this video, I think you should check out this video on Rory and Lorelai Gilmore, explaining why I think Lorelai looks cool in comparison to Rory on Gilmore Girls. You could also check out my playlist on TV and film analysis. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.